Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our channel Solid Knowledge. Do not forget to subscribe our channel, like our videos and share them. So let us start today's topic that is quite confusing one, conditional sentences with and without if. But hey, stop. What are conditionals? Let me tell you, conditionals are structures in English that establish what will happen if a certain event takes place or if a certain action is performed. For example, if it rains, we will have to cancel the picnic. If you freeze water, it turns into ice. There are several types of conditional sentences. Let us discuss the first type, zero conditionals. In zero conditionals, the two clauses, if clause and the main clause, both of them are in present simple, and zero conditionals are used to talk about the things that are always true. For example, a scientific fact, such as if students miss an exam, the professor fails them. I get tired if I work too much. If I'm late for dinner, they start eating without me. First conditional sentences. First conditional sentences contains the if clause in simple present, whereas the main clause in simple future, that is subject plus will or will not and verb in its first form. And it is used to talk about the possibilities in the present or in the future. For example, if it rains, I'll stay home. If I wake up late, I'll miss the bus. If John leaves, Paula will be sad. If I find your email, I'll send you the picture. Let's move on. Second conditionals. Second conditionals are sentences in which if clause is in past simple and the main clause is in present conditional. Past simple means we will use were, and present conditional means we use would or would not with the first form of verb. For example, if I won $1 million. Now, if I won, we are not using were, but we are using the second form of verb. In past simple, there are several things. For example, we can use was or were as a verb, or we can use had as a verb, or we can use the second form of verb, or we can use did with first form of verb. So if I won $1 million, I would buy a new car. If I were you, I would quit smoking. If I were the president, I would lower taxes. They would stay longer if they had more time. If I won $1 million, I could stop working. If I had more free time, I could travel around the world. Hey, stop. Did you notice? We used I were. If I were. Whereas we normally used I was. But here, the case is that there is something that is quite impossible or that is unlikely to happen. So when there is something unlikely to happen in the conditional sentences, we use were with I. Third conditional sentences. Third conditional sentences contain if clause in past perfect, that is had with third form of verb, and perfect conditional, that is would or would not with have and the third form of verb. It is used for the imaginary situations in the past. For example, if I had got a gold medal, I would have been happy. If I had met Susan last week, I would have given her book. If the weather had been good, we would have gone water skiing. If you had gotten up earlier, you would have caught the earlier train. Do you know there is an advanced form of conditional sentences as well that contains conditional sentences without if? That is, we talk about the conditional sentences and the sentences are conditional. They have something that will happen and consequently something other will happen, but they don't use if. Do you know how? We have some other words that we can use instead of if. For example, suppose. Supposing that means what if and is followed by a question in the main clause. For example, suppose he arrives early. What will we do? Otherwise is also a word that can be used instead of if. For example, we really must hurry, otherwise we will miss the bus. As long as or on condition or provided that it expresses the limitation that can also be used instead of if. You can have a dog provided that you look after it properly. In case. It is also a word that refers to conditions that may or may not happen. So take an umbrella in case it rains. Hey, the video doesn't end here. We have something for you. We have some exercises for you to prepare and practice the conditional sentences. First of all, we have 3 sentences for conditional type 1. If you dash out with your friends tonight, I dash the football match on TV. Yeah, let's remember. What was type 1? It contains the if clause in simple present and the main clause with will. So, if you go out with your friends tonight, I will watch the football match on TV. So, can you solve the other 2? I dash a lot of money if I dash that job. If you dash, we dash the bus. I hope you got them. Then, now move on to conditional sentences type 2. If he try dash harder, he dash his goals. What were conditionals type 2? Yeah, it was simple past with would. So if he tried harder, he would reach his goals. Yeah, I know you can solve the rest of the 2. Now conditional sentences type 3. If we dash to the radio, we dash the news. What were the type 3? So, with past perfect with would have. If we had listened to the radio, we would have heard the news. I know you can solve the rest. But before you end up this video, you can go on and look at the answers whether yours were correct or not. Thank you. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye.